The air in Boise, Idaho, carried a crisp edge that March evening as Sarah Thompson, a 17-year-old junior, parked her bike against the Johnsons' garage. She was saving for college, and the $20 an hour for babysitting Emma and Liam was too good to pass up. The neighborhood, with its tidy lawns and glowing streetlights, felt like a safe haven. Sarah's parents had no objections. At 6:30 p.m., she knocked on the Johnsons' modern two-story home. Mrs. Johnson, adjusting her earrings, showed Sarah the alarm system, Wi-Fi code, and a fridge stocked with juice boxes and leftover pizza. Mr. Johnson, tying his tie, stressed bedtime was 8:30 sharp before they left for a fundraiser downtown. Sarah locked the deadbolt behind them, a reflex from years of her mom's warnings. The evening started smoothly. Emma and Liam colored pictures of superheroes, giggling as Sarah drew a lopsided cape. They watched a cartoon about talking dogs, then brushed their teeth with bubblegum toothpaste. By 8:25, Sarah led them upstairs, read a story about a brave kitten, and plugged in a star-shaped nightlight that cast a soft glow. Both kids drifted off quickly. Downstairs, Sarah sprawled on the couch, texting her mom an update and flipping through chemistry notes. The house was quiet, save for the hum of the fridge. At 9 p.m., the doorbell chimed, sharp and sudden. Sarah froze, her phone glowing in her lap. The Johnsons hadn't mentioned visitors. Through the peephole, she saw a man in his late 30s, wearing a gray jacket and jeans, holding a keyring. He waved at the door camera, smiling. "Hey, I'm Mike, the kid's uncle," he said calmly. "Forgot my wallet earlier. Just need to grab it from the guest room." He mentioned Emma's love for her stuffed bunny and Liam's pizza dinner, details that matched the night perfectly. Sarah's stomach nodded. Something felt off, but his easy tone made her second-guess herself. "I'll need to check with the parents," she said through the door, keeping her voice steady. Mike nodded, still smiling. "Sure, my bad. I told Lisa I'd swing by." Sarah stepped back, opened the baby monitor app, and saw the kids sleeping soundly. The security tablet showed Mike waiting patiently, hands in pockets. She dialed Mrs. Johnson. No answer. Mr. Johnson's phone went to voicemail. Her thumb hovered over 911, but she hesitated. Boise police weren't kind about false alarms. A text from Mrs. Johnson pinged. "Dinner's loud." "All okay?" Sarah typed quickly. "Man says he's your brother, Mike. Wants in." The reply was instant. "No brother. Call police now." Sarah's hands shook as she dialed 911, whispering the address and Mike's description. "Two kids are upstairs," she added. Outside, Mike knocked again. "Just need that wallet. 2 minutes, promise." Sarah didn't respond. The camera showed him circling to the side windows, peering inside. She flicked off the living room lights, crouching in the dark. The backyard motion sensor flashed on, then off. The dispatcher's voice was calm. "Units are 4 minutes out. Stay inside." Sarah checked the patio door, locked tight. The house felt too still, like it was holding its breath. Sirens cut the silence, and red-blue lights danced through the blinds. An officer announced his badge number through the door. Sarah opened it, heart pounding. The police searched the yard and street, but Mike and his car, a dark sedan, were gone. Tire marks led to the main road. The Johnsons rushed home, pale and shaken. Mrs. Johnson hugged Sarah tightly, whispering, "You kept them safe." By 1 a.m., Sarah was home, replaying every moment. How did Mike know so much? A loose window latch was later found, suggesting he'd listened earlier. Sarah took no evening jobs for months, and when she did, she carried pepper spray and checked every lock twice. The case stayed open, no arrests made. Sometimes she still hears that calm voice in her dreams, asking for a wallet that didn't exist. Emily Carter, a 32-year-old nurse, clocked out of her shift at a hospital in rural Oregon at 11 p.m., exhausted. Highway 26 was her usual route home, a lonely stretch flanked by pines and occasional gas stations. Her old Toyota hummed as she turned up the radio to stay awake. 5 miles from home, orange cones and a sign blocked the road. Detour, construction ahead. An arrow pointed to a side road she'd never noticed. Groaning, Emily turned onto the narrow gravel path. The trees closed in, swallowing her headlights. No streetlights, no houses, just darkness. The road twisted endlessly, and Emily's unease grew. No construction equipment appeared, no workers, nothing. Her GPS flickered, unable to find a signal. "This isn't right," she muttered, gripping the wheel. In her rearview mirror, a truck appeared, maybe 100 yards back, its headlights off. Her pulse quickened. Who drives at night without lights? She sped up, the gravel crunching louder. The truck matched her pace, a dark shape lurking in the mirror. Emily tried to calm herself. Maybe a local, maybe a broken light, but the truck stayed close, never overtaking. No more detour signs appeared, and Emily realized Highway 26 had shown no signs of construction either. Panic surged. She grabbed her phone. No service. The truck was still there, a black or navy pickup, its driver invisible. Up ahead, headlights glowed. A white SUV approaching. Emily slowed, flashing her high beams. The SUV pulled over and she shouted through a cracked window, "Someone's following me!" The driver, a middle-aged man, frowned. "There's no truck." Emily checked her mirror, empty. Her skin prickled. "This road's weird," the man said. "I got detoured too, but 26 is clear. Follow me back." Emily nodded, tailing his SUV. Her mirrors stayed empty, but she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. 10 minutes later, they reached Highway 26. No cones, no signs. She thanked the man, who said he'd report it to the police. At home, Emily locked every door, unable to sleep. The next day, the sheriff confirmed no road work was planned. Online forums mentioned similar fake detours, some blaming pranksters, others hinting at worse. Emily now takes a longer route home, her heart racing at every construction sign. The truck's shadow lingers in her mind, a question without an answer. In Asheville, North Carolina, Chloe Bennett, 15, and her boyfriend Noah, 16, decided to hike a familiar trail along the Blue Ridge Parkway one April evening. The trail, a half-mile path to a small bridge over a river, was Chloe's favorite. The canyon's steep walls and rushing water felt like home. They set out at 6 p.m. The sky still light, but the canyon seemed to drink the sun faster than usual. By the time they neared the bridge, darkness had fallen, thick and heavy. Their phone flashlights cut small beams through the black, the usual forest sounds, birds, rustling leaves, strangely absent. Chloe's stomach churned, an instinct she couldn't name. "Maybe we should turn back," she whispered. Noah, always bolder, shrugged. "We're almost there." At the trail's turn to the bridge, Chloe stopped short. 3 feet off the path stood a figure, impossibly tall, 7 or 8 feet, with a bulky frame and long, unnatural arms. His brown flannel shirt and dark pants blended into the night, his hair spiking upward oddly. He faced away, staring down a hill into nothingness. Chloe's flashlight shook as she whispered, "Noah, what is that?" He froze, eyes wide. The figure didn't move, a silent statue in the dark. A minute passed, each second stretching. Noah called out, "Hey, you okay?" The figure began to turn, slow and deliberate. Chloe's gut screamed. She grabbed Noah's arm and ran, her flashlight beam bouncing wildly. Noah stumbled behind, shouting her name. They reached their car, parked at the trailhead, and locked the doors. No other vehicles were there. The drive back to town was silent, Chloe's heart still racing. Days later, Chloe convinced Noah and friends to return in daylight. The spot where the figure stood was empty, but a steep 4-foot drop marked the ground. If the figure stood there, it was closer to 10 feet tall. The realization chilled her. Asheville's trails, once her sanctuary, now felt alive with secrets. She told the story to friends, but no one had answers. Was it a person? A trick of the dark? The canyon's history, of beauty and tragedy, seemed to hold the figure's shadow. Chloe avoids the trail now, the memory of that silent giant haunting her quiet moments. James Riley, a security guard at Spokane International Airport, worked the night shift in July, the peak of summer travel. The terminal buzzed with families and tourists, but something felt off that night. James couldn't pinpoint why. Maybe the air, maybe his tired eyes. At midnight, he took his break at a cafe, grabbing a soda and chips. As he scrolled his phone, a man in a black raincoat stared from across the room, his gaze unwavering. James met his eyes for a moment, then looked away. Airports drew odd types. He brushed it off. In the restroom, washing his hands, James felt the stare again. The man stood in the hallway, 50 yards away, head tilted. When James looked up, the man slipped into a side corridor, silent. Unease settled in, but no rules were broken. James returned to his rounds, checking gates and locks. At dawn, his phone died as he walked home. A short trek through quiet streets. He plugged in a power bank and the screen lit up. Unknown AirTag detected. It is moving with you. 800 meters. James froze. He didn't own an AirTag. The distance dropped, 600, 500, 400. James jogged, his breath sharp. At 200 meters, he sprinted to his apartment, slamming the door. The screen read 50 meters, then 20, then 10. The peephole showed an empty street. Shaking, James dumped his backpack. No AirTag. Exhausted, he lay down, a horror podcast playing softly. He woke to darkness, his phone glowing. AirTag detected. 2 meters. At the foot of his bed stood the raincoat man, staring. James shouted, and the figure vanished through the door. Police found an AirTag sewn into James's backpack lining, no fingerprints. The apartment showed no forced entry. James stayed with a friend, installed new locks and added cameras. The man was never identified. James still works nights but takes a cab home. His phone's every buzz, a reminder of that silent stare. Trust your instincts, he tells himself. Next time, he might not wake up in time. Alex Morgan and his friends, Ryan, Matt, and Lauren, drove to Olympic National Forest for a summer weekend. The dense pines and cool air were perfect for camping. Their site, near a creek, was a clearing off the main trail. Ryan, the group's jokester, tossed a frisbee as they set up tents. By 9 p.m., darkness enveloped the forest and they gathered around a campfire, roasting hot dogs. Ryan mentioned a local legend about missing hikers, but Lauren scoffed. Still, Alex noticed Ryan glancing at the trees. At 11, Ryan grabbed a flashlight. "Gonna check the creek," he said. Matt warned him to stay close, but Ryan waved it off. 20 minutes passed. Lauren grew nervous. Alex called Ryan's name, his voice swallowed by the woods. He and Matt searched, leaving Lauren at camp. At the creek, Alex found Ryan's flashlight, still on, beside footprints that stopped abruptly. They searched until dawn, joined by rangers. No trace of Ryan was found. The forest's history of vanishings weighed heavy. Alex drives to the creek sometimes, searching for answers, but avoids camping. Ryan's smile haunts his dreams, blank and wrong. Rachel Hayes rented a cozy house in Tacoma, Washington, with her cat, Luna. The neighbor's nightly bass-heavy music shook her walls. Earplugs didn't help, and knocks went unanswered. After a month, Rachel filed a noise complaint. The next morning, her car's tires were slashed, costing her savings. She knocked again. The music paused, then blared louder. A week later, Luna vanished. Rachel searched, heartbroken. Then a letter appeared in her mailbox. "Next time it's you." No stamp, no prints. Police found nothing. Rachel installed cameras and alarms. One night, a camera was stolen. Another, Luna's collar appeared in the attic. A porch camera caught a masked figure holding a key or knife. Rachel found a screwdriver under her mat, bagged it for evidence. The neighbor waved one day, chilling her. She sold her house to an investor and moved to a gated complex. No arrests were made. Luna never returned. Rachel checks her locks nightly, the letter's words echoing. Fear lingers, a shadow that knows her name.